Lethal injection. The very name sounds sterile, almost medical, as if it's a procedure rather than an execution. And that's entirely the point. It is the most common method of capital punishment in the United States, designed to look as peaceful and humane as possible. The idea is simple. A person is strapped to a gurney, an IV is inserted into their arm, and a series of drugs are administered that first render them unconscious, then paralyze their muscles, and finally, stop their heart. It's meant to be a quiet, dignified exit, a far cry from the violent spectacles of the past. It's presented as the civilized endpoint for a system that deals in death, making the process more palatable for the witnesses, the executioners, and society at large. The push for this method came from a very specific place, a deep-seated public discomfort with the messiness of older execution techniques. Think about it. The alternatives were, well, they were visually upsetting. We wanted our state-sanctioned killings to be less gruesome. We wanted them to happen behind a curtain, with minimal fuss and no unpleasant imagery that might show up on the evening news. Lethal injection promised to deliver just that. It offered the illusion of a medical procedure, borrowing the tools and terminology of healing to carry out the ultimate punishment. This rebranding was crucial. It wasn't about being kinder to the condemned, not really. It was about being kinder to us, the people who had to live with the reality of the death penalty. This desire for a cleaner death penalty was a powerful motivator for lawmakers and the public. Executions had become a public relations nightmare. Stories of botched hangings or electrocutions that went horribly wrong were damaging to the image of the justice system. The goal was to find a method that wouldn't provoke outrage or turn stomachs. Lethal injection seemed like the perfect solution. It looked modern, it sounded scientific, and most importantly, it could be performed without any visible violence. It transformed the act of execution from a brutal physical confrontation into a quiet, almost bureaucratic process. The condemned simply appears to fall asleep, which is a much easier image for society to digest than the alternatives. It's the death penalty with good PR. So at its core, lethal injection is the product of a paradox. It's an attempt to make an inherently violent act appear non-violent. It's a method born not from a sudden wave of compassion for inmates, but from a societal need to sanitize the process of capital punishment. Supporters argued it was the most humane option available, a step forward in our evolution as a just and moral society. They painted a picture of a painless drift into oblivion, a stark contrast to the brutal methods it was designed to replace.
But is it truly more humane, or have we just become better at hiding the reality from ourselves? The debate over lethal injection is as much about perception as it is about pain.